News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Nathan Hager.
And I'm Karen Moscow.
Karen, we begin with the latest developments in the trade war. This morning, China demanded that the U.S. revoke all unilateral tariffs. A spokesman for the Chinese Ministry of Commerce says there are no talks on reaching a trade deal. This comes less than 24 hours after President Trump said he would be willing to substantially pare back tariffs on China.
We're dealing with a lot of countries right now, and could be with China, but maybe we'll make a special, a deal, and we'll see what it will be. Right now, it's 145%. That's very high. It got there because of the fentanyl. They're sending, massive amounts of fentanyl into our country.
President Trump said he could announce tariff rates for countries including China over the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Well, Nathan, stocks are coming off back-to-back gains after President Trump eased off on two of his frequent punching bags, China and Jerome Powell. And sources say Trump turned down his aggressive rhetoric a day after meeting with executives from Walmart, Home Depot, and Target, who said import taxes could disrupt supply chains and raise the prices of goods. Meanwhile, Citadel founder Ken Griffiths said the trade war has disrupted the ability of business leaders to focus on long-term growth.
All of us were really looking forward to 4 years of having a chance to really grow our businesses. And unfortunately, the trade war, which has devolved into a nonsensical place, means that we're spending time now thinking about supply chains, thinking about strategically how we're going to source goods around the world. And I'll tell you what's not going to happen is people are not going to race to build manufacturing in America.
Citadel founder Ken Griffin made the comments at the Semaphore World Economy Summit.
And Karen, the Trump administration is considering whether to reduce certain tariffs targeting the auto industry. We get the very latest on that now with Bloomberg's John Tucker. John.
And Nathan, discussions are underway after auto executives warned tariffs would deal a severe blow to profits and jobs. Sources tell us one proposal would spare automobiles and parts already subject to tariffs from facing additional duties from steel and aluminum imports. Another option being studied would fully exempt auto parts that comply with the U.S.-Mexico-Canada Trade Pact. But President Trump's tariff policies often change quickly, so nobody knows for sure. In the Oval Office yesterday, Trump was asked if he's considering changes to auto tariffs and indicated he was not, while also suggesting he might even increase levies on the Canadian auto sector. And meantime, President Trump plans to mark 100 days in office by visiting the car-making hub of Macomb County, Michigan. That's home to facilities tied to General Motors and Stellantis. In New York, I'm John Tucker, Bloomberg Radio.
All right, John, thank you. Well, there's at least one company saying tariffs will benefit its business going forward. Whirlpool says the long-term impact of tariffs will benefit its position in the U.S. home appliance market. We spoke with Whirlpool CEO Mark Bitzer.
No matter how you look at it, we're structurally a net winner of a tariff. Now, there's always two sides of the equation. In the short term, there are some what I would call manageable headwinds in the form of higher component costs. We also saw quite a bit of loading by competitors into the industry. But the long term, in particular, midterm, in particular, once the tariffs fully kick in, we are a net winner in this environment.
And Whirlpool CEO Mark Bitzer maintained the refrigerator maker's full-year forecast.
Well, Karen, controversies over tariffs could be taking a slice out of President Trump's approval rating. The New York Times is reporting the rating has sunk to about 45%. That's down from 52% 1 week after the president took office.
Well, now, Nathan, let's get the latest on the war in Ukraine. Russia launched a barrage of missiles and drones on 8 regions overnight, including the capital, Kyiv. At least 9 people were killed, more than 70 others hurt. The latest assault came hours after President Trump accused Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky of prolonging the war.
I think we have a deal with Russia. We have to get a deal with Zelensky, and I hope that Zelensky, I thought it might be easier to deal with Zelensky. So far it's been harder, but that's okay. It's all right. But I think we have a deal with both. I hope they do it.
President Trump spoke from the Oval Office as heard on Bloomberg, and President Zelensky is in South Africa, but now says he'll cut that visit short and return to Kyiv following this latest attack.
And back in this country, Karen, Harvard University is indicating it wants to move quickly on its legal fight with the Trump administration over more than $2 billion in federal funds. The university is telling a federal judge it will not ask for a temporary order to block the government's funding freeze. Instead, it plans to seek a quick judgment on its central claim that the administration is threatening its independence and and free speech. The White House froze $2.2 billion in research grants this month after Harvard refused to overhaul its governance, hiring, and diversity practices.
And that's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Karen Moscow.
I'm Nathan Hager, and this is Bloomberg.